This is a Swede Speaks. Today is Monday, January 30, 2017. Recent news in Sweden is that there is a company called Lernia who are going to produce the new standard Swedish. What was wrong with the old one? I understand it pretty well. Most people in Sweden do, and if you don't understand Swedish, and if you live in Sweden, well, then maybe you should try to learn to understand it. However, this is what an article about it says. A new kind of standard Swedish, produced from the most common dialects and accents today, will get the Swedes to realize that people's pronunciation does not have anything to do with their competence. And that they have been listening to voices out of different parameters like geography, ages, socioeconomic background, gender, and ethnicity. What? What are you doing? How am I supposed to put this mildly? These postmodern cultural vandals, nothing is sacred to them. They want to destroy anything that is anything resembling conservatism. I wouldn't really say that standard Swedish of today is conservative either, but the solution to that would be to try to go back, to make it look more like old Swedish, not to wreck it and institute something new, to launch some kind of, I don't know, a mix of immigrant Swedish and what have you. I mean, I have nothing against dialects. That's not my problem here. Many of the Swedish dialects are pretty beautiful. My problem here is, and if you don't have a standard Swedish, or if you take a broken language and make it a standard, the standard version of a language, how is anyone supposed to learn to speak properly? Are you guys and girls crazy? I mean, I am happy enough that my grandparents, who were born in Finland, they both had Swedish as their mother tongue, although my grandmother was bilingual since birth. Her mother spoke Finnish, her father spoke Swedish as their mother tongues. My grandfather spoke Swedish as his mother tongue and eventually learned Finnish, and he did that after he moved to Sweden. Funny story, maybe some other time. And the Swedish spoken in Finland is more conservative, more archaic than the Swedish spoken in Sweden as it is right now. There are some words that are Finlandisms. And hey, I prefer the Swedish spoken in Finland over the Swedish spoken in Sweden as per right now, and I can live with the Finlandisms. Finlandisms means words taken from Finnish and imported into the Finland Swedish. I suppose Finland Swedish will become its own language one day or the other now, when they are going to wreck the Swedish in Sweden. And how do they expect the neighboring languages, Norwegian and Danish? Are they even supposed to understand what the Swedes say now? The thing is, with a conservative viewpoint, I hesitate to call it an ideology, but okay, let's call it an ideology. We have to be careful. The principle of carefulness. It is much easier to destroy than to build. So before we destroy something, we need to be very, very, very careful that it's really, really necessary. Because we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us, and we are leaving something to those who come after us. And I know the baby boomers don't understand this. The 68 left, the people who destroyed Sweden and most of the Western world, yeah, they've been fought back a little now with the elections last year, and I hope that they are going to get fought back, and that their viewpoints will be completely gone in a few years. that maybe they will have their ideas spread in obscure leftist magazines, but that they will have no influence on society. But they managed to wreck Sweden before that happens, because Sweden is always the craziest one. Sweden is the crazy neighbor in Europe and in the Nordic countries and in the West. And I don't know if I should say this out loud, but I sometimes think that it would be better for Sweden if some sane Western country occupied it and put it under some sort of, what do you call it? Well, that they decided the things, because the Swedes obviously aren't able to. And someone would say that this is not what most Swedes want. Maybe not. But they voted for the politicians and who are giving these assignments to crazy companies. Dear Sweden, you have to get your act together, and you have to do it fast. This is a Swede speaks. Have a nice day.